top-heavy lobby in terms of points.
Sosnovka military base plane all the way up towards Kameshki. For now, the Sharks are swirling. T2K have got their own scrap to be dealing with. A really nice pickup there, and timely too for the shotgun. Able to load it on up as well. Looks to unload 1 and 2, a third and a fourth, but it's not going to be good enough to find the knocks. Fortunately though, T2K have got a team, and they will be pushing forwards with Legend seemingly unarmed in this scenario. Not too sure what you were going to do on the off angle there. Lutz is coming on through as we head back over to Godless with IHC in on the ground floor. I think they're really popping off. And two sides of the map here, some really cheeky little hot drops. That's what happens when you have early circles on a hard shift. In comes the backup from IHC now as Squash on the ground floor taken low. Godless held out for long enough in the meantime as Nenebete goes up to the top floor and will be able to get the flush. Losing a teammate, not quite just yet. Nenebete still with the auto shotgun, playing around the side, looks for the reload as well, and manages to get the magazine back into the breach. Turns the corner and shut down by Ziol. Flush goes through as well, and IHC claim the building. Sailing on past, can't really do too much about it. Ziol into the building, Solus ready with the nade, looking to cook it up. Drops it down low and actually into the gap between the buildings to stop any sort of push. Alex on through as well, forces Solus out the back, who's cooking a nade himself, wants to post that one back in through the window. DBS around the corner, does so much work and finds a second as well. Oh, Ziol through the window, Solus claims it. Excellent hold.
6 elims now. All we're talking about saying that Fireflux could easily bring this one back around right now. With that kind of position, over towards the northwest side and an easy enough rotate downwards. Fireflux has a good chance now. Wolves versus Alter Egos though. Picking them apart slowly but surely, and 4AM also getting involved on the action.
That's not going to stop the nades pouring on through. DRS, they're rocking up into the back of Wolves over in Gatka itself as the shots and the pouring in of players comes through. Pick Feet able to handle the first. The DBS around the side though, barks. And the Wolves feel the bite of it, unfortunately. DRS will go no further. They had a good engagement over on that western side, but 3 teams in Gatka, it's always going to be too tough.
Still getting that far is almost a miracle in and of itself. I think for DRS to hold on, it was a real struggle at that point in time, and the fingers were really straining on the edge of the cliff there. Influence came in. Still have some players though. This might be their game. They send in Fireflux, Solus, 1 down. Fireflux down to just 2 players. And Solkay's looking to push this one far.
Silas from Turkey able to do for 1 onto Solkay there. Nice little knock around the side of the rock. Instantly flushed out as well. But there's the answer. A lineup and a knockdown over on towards Influence Kemin. As S2G and Fireflux both suffering the pressure felt by the rest of the lobby from the Brazilian sides. Nades over the top. And Influence Kemin looking very, very healthy here. All 4 of them up and active. S2G not so lucky.
Looking to pull out the broom here. Sweep the guys from S2G. And S2G is immediately retreated to a bit of more of a defensive position where they can turtle up, hopefully restabilize, push back against the guys from Influence Kemin. 4AM do have sightlines towards them. And we will head further towards the center of the circle. I said it was nasty. I said it was cruel. It certainly is. For all these teams over in Gatka, though, leaving is the worst part of this game.
Alter Egos trying to stay alive for as long as possible. Only the 1 player now remains for them. Alpha 7, eastern side. Nades over the top towards Geek Fam. Micah, low. Knocked, flushed, will fall, and Geek Fam are down to 2. Wolves are continuing to move through this compound, but the stairs prove too difficult for them to summit. Pick Feet goes down first, and they need to stick this res. Now towards the top side of things, they have Beautiful and Remember, who are pushing WWX up those stairs continuously. The DBS around the corner, and that is a really heads-up little hop out and a hop in, as well as WWX wants even more from the top rope. The turnbuckle is slamming them down. Finally, they put a stop to the chaos, but the damage is done. Wolves are slowed down. 5 eliminations, sure, but can they keep it going from the position that they hold? There is so much more to handle, and 4AM, they do go down.
I mean, there's a hop out there, and Nova looks like they picked up that final player. Goodness me, you can see just how good 4AM is.
They will not go any further, unfortunately. The top of those tables looking to be a little bit firmer now. Pick feet, nades over the top. Out into the fields, potentially over towards Geek Fam, but Alpha 7, 4 players alive, looking very healthy on the southeast side. If they can dispatch Stalwart, they are in a prime position for this next circle. But Stalwart not the easiest to deal with, unfortunately for them. Order picks up one. King with the Bison as well over onto Pick Feet. King does get shot down towards them as well. Jimmy and Order now the last 2 for Nova, but they are slowing the Wolves down enough to make this exit hard. Really, really tough indeed for the Wolves. Order with the AKM iron sights. Loosen shots from the grass.
There's really one only important fight here between Alpha 7 and Stalwart. The 2 remaining 4-player teams. Whoever wins this fight will most likely win the game. Wolves, though, do finally go down. Geek Fam, 4 eliminations, 2 players left alive. Still going strong. We talked about at the beginning of this game. Definitely not out of the mix yet.
Stalwart still with their challenge at their doorstep. Shots over towards Mythic behind the ridgeline from Action, but not really getting too much more than that. Repositions coming through from Alpha 7. A lot of damage done actually to the health bars here, and there's the off angle, a third party, and an aid over the top from top. Is going to slam down straight onto Mythic. An answer from Mafioso. The Molotov slows any aggression to move across the way. Mafioso wants to suppress the back as well. He's dealing with threats on 2 fronts now as Alpha 7 can influence this fight, but Influence Kemen have their own say in things. As Lil Boy makes it tough. Makes it really, really tough indeed for Alpha 7 to stay alive into this one. Garillo needs to hold there, but cannot do the job. 1 player now alive. It's Revo for Alpha 7. Further on into the circle with a position to hold. Wants to just stay alive and open the gap against Inco as much as possible. But Influence Kemen, they want to join their teammates from Brazil up towards the top.
Revo, complete clutch player as well in this lobby, so wouldn't count him out just yet. Influence Kemen really dominated control from that northern side. Wanted to continue to put down the damage. Order from Nova. Another powerhouse in their own right. Buradam with Sky only. Got a lot of these individual players who are extremely good left remaining in this final circle. What a cool finish here on Erangel.
Stalwart. 4 players alive here from Mongolia. IHC kind of stole the limelight from them a little bit, but Godlike Stalwart are playing pretty well here. Unfortunately, they did just take a knock, and they are kind of cornered somewhat towards the blue zone, and a tough run they'll have ahead of them. Buradam eliminated 7th place. Order still going for Nova. Powerful solo, like you were talking about, a Stalwart mount up for their push towards Revo, the last player for top team Alpha 7. Pika leads forwards. No nades in the back pocket for Revo, only 2 smokes to be spoken of, but will be able to open up for 1, maybe even look for a flush. It'd be brilliant to see more from him. And a knock over towards Action. Stalwart coming apart at the seams here. They all are going to fall down, crumbling under the purview of Revo. A clutch player indeed, Blank. Influence Kemen, though, with the center of this circle.
Yeah, never count out Revo. This is the guy that really took them all the way. But at this point in time, stage 8, it's going to be difficult to stay alive any much longer. Still, 4 teams remaining. Very good possibility now to get a little bit further. 5 eliminations so far for Geek Fam. But only 2 players left. The difficulty for S2G and Revo, there's absolutely no recompense for either of them. They're down, it's done.
You've got to think this is Influence Kemen's game to lose. 6 eliminations on the cards with 4 more to gain. They can potentially get a 25-point game here, Blank, if they get everything left in the lobby. A really solid result that would be. Would see them nice and tidy up the tables. Sort of middle of the pack right now. So they want to keep things as tight as they can. Lil Boy looks for one of Geek and will be able to get the flush as well. Revo with shots over towards one of the remaining player, but that's taken away by Law. So 2 of those eliminations already picked up now by Influence Kevin. Alpha 7 with Revo, S2G with Hamzy, the only 2 people who can stop Influence Kevin taking the chicken.
It's going to be really difficult for Hamzy G and Revo, but both very, very strong players. From S2G and Alpha 7, they have to work together now. It's the only way. Revo's already taken damage with the loot crate. He has a lot more room to play with here. Influence Kemin, they have to stand on either side. Revo's down. Hamzy G's life just become very, very difficult now.
However, he is up in second place for S2G, and with Influence Kemin on 3, 10 eliminations right around the corner. That is that 25-point game that they will be looking for here. A very, very solid result, but Hamzy G, he's got that DP. If he gets a cheeky little angle, gets a pick, there is potential here for things to go pear-shaped for Influence Kemin, but you got to hope that they won't.
I think for Influence Kemin versus Revo there, it is very difficult for them to lose that. But Revo is such a good player, they have to make all the right calls. They subdue Hamzy G on that side, send 2 players out wide so they can refrag off one another, and then send 1 player to finish the job on the edge. So I think no matter what happened to Revo there, this is something that Influence Kemin's always been very, very good at, and that is teamwork and working on the fly to make that kind of teamwork happen. And a quick bird's eye view here to just check exactly what's going on. Again, you got Little Boy in the back, very covered at the moment. Law, as well as Kayovsky up front, ready to refrag off one another, and Little Boy's kind of that insurance, just trying to spot by jumping. This is what makes a 3v1 almost impossible to lose. The way they've set this up, yeah, I don't think that we're going to see anything but Influence Kemin chicken dinner, and you can see exactly why this is one of the best teams to come out from South America.
Maybe not on the table right now, but Influence Kemin are a force, and they will be reckoning with everybody else in the lobby on Erangel this time around. Match number 4 goes the way of, again, a Brazilian team. Blank, that's 3 in a row that Brazil have been able to win.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really changing too much, is it? I mean, Brazil is really crushing the leaderboards today, which is not something we expected, but something that maybe was cooking in the pot backstage throughout the entirety of this year, as we see more and more teams from South America, from Turkey, from all these new types of regions and regions that we've been with for a long time, suddenly finding just the right core, the right team, the right additions, the right players. Again, as James Yang was saying, they had 600,000 plus signups towards PMCO. You can imagine the amount of players that do just get sifted through, get sent through the old blender, honestly. Yeah. And there's just so much new talent and absolutely fantastic players to pick from now. I think anywhere in the world has the chance to have a world championship team.
Absolutely, and at the moment, a lot of power being seen from Brazil, but we have seen glimmers from a lot of other regions. I think the big surprise for me is that the Chinese teams haven't been as powerful as maybe we would have expected, coming from a region that has for a long time, well, first of all, holds the defending champions.
Give them time.
Yeah, exactly.
Give them time.
Maybe we just have to give them a little bit of time, but with Brazil as powerful as they...
It does not stop, and it doesn't seem to stop anytime soon either. Honestly, this is sensational from Brazil, not from any team specifically, but from all the teams. Influence Kemin picking up 24 wins, 24 very important points as well. Did I say wins? 24 points, is obviously what I meant. 24 very important points in the context of the overall ranking, which we're going to see later, and also Alpha 7 in 3rd place, picking up 15. And there is one team in the midst of this, which is S2G. And looking at the elims, that is a storyline that we might just want to touch on briefly.
It is. I mean, I was talking about it earlier before this match, and they kind of showcasing it here perfectly. This team has been consistent in regards to their placement, but their elimination